Hey everybody, Keegan here. So I don't know how closely you might have been following the Jeffrey Epstein story, uh, but Project Veritas received this undercover footage of this lady that worked for ABC News named Amy Roback. And she was saying basically the ABC News knew all this stuff about Jeffrey Epstein and had one of his victims and had her on camera admitting all this stuff, saying she had photographic evidence and all kinds of stuff on all kinds of people. And ABC sat on the news story for 3 years because they said they didn't think people would know who Jeffrey Epstein was, the public wouldn't care about the story, etc. So they got her on a hot mic or whatever saying this. So some of us have been for a while now saying there's some weird stuff going on with Jeffrey Epstein from the top, as if the authorities and the people that own the media and stuff are actually working to like cover up not just his story but his death and all this. And keep in mind that ABC is owned by Disney. Disney has a cruise line. That cruise line went right in between Jeffrey Epstein's creepy island and this island named Big St. James. And at Big St. James, Disney would sometimes dock there and they would like have tour trips and all kinds of weird stuff. So there's some weird stuff going on with Jeffrey Epstein, human trafficker, and Disney, wholesome family, company, But I wanted to bring up this letter that just came out today. It's brought to my attention. Disney's pervert protecting television network tossed into the boiling pot. Here's the letter obtained by Megyn Kelly that House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy sent to ABC News President James Goldston about the Epstein investigation that the network quashed. So we have some official looking documentation that was sent to the head of ABC, wondering exactly what the hell was going on with them not wanting to go with the Epstein story. You can find this all yourselves online. You don't need Keegan here, but check this out. Congress of the United States, House of Representative, Mr. James Goldston, President ABC News. Dear Mr. Goldston, as you must have seen, a video has emerged of ABC News anchor Amy Roback expressing regret and frustration over a decision by ABC News executives 3 years ago to not publish a first-hand account from one of Jeffrey Epstein's accusers. She attributes this comment to an attorney of one of Mr. Epstein's victims, which she obtained through her reporting. There will come a day when we realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. In the video, Mr. Roback remarks her evidence, Miss Roback remarks her evidence was collected over 3 years ago, but was quashed because she was told no one knows who Jeffrey Epstein is, therefore rendering it a stupid story. Note in 2008, then fundraiser Mr. Epstein pled guilty to a felony charge of solicitation of prostitution involving a minor and served 13 months in prison. And ABC didn't think that this was a big enough story, supposedly, so they didn't want her to release the story. Mr. Epstein was later arrested on July 6, 2019 on federal charges for sex trafficking of minors. It is now known that Mr. Epstein's above dates go back decades, involved with countless young women and minors. Sorry, the text is really tiny, but you get the gist of it. Anyhow, this is going out now. Here's the rest of it. They're worried that the victims will not want to come forward. They said what appears to have been presented as Miss Roback's first-hand evidence of human trafficking. I am deeply concerned that this victim in search of justice went to ABC News, provided information in an interview, and then ABC News chose to bury the truth. This was a decision that Miss Roback alluded was due to protecting powerful people or financial interests. Although it is unclear whether anyone thought to alert authorities to further examine these deeply disturbing allegations, it is clear that ABC News is enabling Mr. Epstein, saying it has consequences. They're saying now fewer victims will be willing to come forward to bring perpetrators of this modern-day slavery to justice, and more grievously, the possibility that any number of minors could have been spared from human trafficking over the past 3 years. So they're asking the head of ABC News, 1, will ABC News provide Congress the interview with Miss Roback conducted with the victim? 2, what did ABC News learn about Jeffrey Epstein after Miss Roback first presented her story to the executives? 3, who was involved in deciding the story was not of public interest, and what were their reasons for doing so? 4, Can Miss Roback expand on these outside forces she mentioned as potentially responsible for the story not running? 5. Was ABC News ever presented with additional evidence on Mr. Epstein from the time Miss Roback first brought her investigation to the network and when he was ultimately arrested? 6. Were authorities alerted at any time after Miss Roback presented ABC News executives with their reporting? If so, when and what was provided? ABC News' initial response and subsequent actions revealed their priority is to identify and hold accountable the individual who released the video to the public. We believe that uncovering the source of the information is incomparably less important than the possibility of exposing the source of human trafficking operation. It is imperative that the public be assured newsroom decisions regarding exposing human trafficking are not tampered by financial interests or outside forces. Sincerely, Kevin McCarthy, the House Republican leader, Mike T. McCall, the ranking member of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs, and Doug A. Collins, the ranking member of House Committee of the Judiciary. So this is real stuff. This is all connected. This is all Pizzagate. People at the top are covering for people that keep blackmail on motherfuckers, and that's how the system works. Okay, they get people in powerful positions, they get them in a smoky room, they make them have sex with underage kids or do whatever the fuck, and they record it, so they have blackmail on them, and these people in most cases do it willingly. Jeffrey Epstein was the guy that kept this information, and Disney said don't report on this guy. Why? Anyhow, I'm Keegan. In the meantime, don't roll your eyes at me.